Okay, it looks like I'm live. Hello, everyone. I'm sure everybody's seeing what's going on in the media. It's a real circus. I tell you, it's pretty. Okay, like Kamala lost, it's all policy. I'm so sick of seeing what's being said on MSNBC, CNN. Oh, Kamala lost because she's a woman. Kamala lost because she's black or she's Indian. Look at it like this: if Sarah Huckabee Sanders was the Republican nominee, or if Kathy Barnett was the Republican nominee, I would gladly have voted for her. But Trump was the nominee. All he wants to be in the video. And I'll tell you another thing: don't mess with the Amish. The Amish, whoa, the Amish came out in droves to vote in Pennsylvania. This is one of the first times I can remember. I think it's the first time I can remember in years where the people in Lancaster County finally voted Republican. The Amish had been harassed between the Harris Biden regime and Governor Josh Shapiro. They've been regulating what the Amish people are doing. Can you please go lie down, Holly? Please. This is what it's like here. I do a live stream and Holly has stacked up. I took a break. I didn't. Well, I've been so pressed for time. I said before, I've been watering trees full time. We're supposed to get some rain Sunday night, a quarter to a half inch. That's better than nothing. Um, and there weren't any deer on the property tonight, so I thought, hey, I haven't done a live stream in a long time. So you go lie down, Holly. Yeah, play with your little deer antler. From what I've been able to find out, most of the people who voted for Kamala were black women and Jewish people. Um, there's people have to accept this. I'm sure everybody has family members that are all divided over this. I forewarned my sister. I forewarned family members what was going to happen. Um, you tell somebody we're going to have 20% inflation rate on food. Um, Before it happens, oh no, he's going to unite the country, Joe. No, he didn't. Uh, I have good foresight. Um, I think if we can get through to inauguration day, things are going to greatly improve in this country. Um, doesn't everyone want to pay lower prices for fuel? I do. If Trump can, if Trump puts all these tariffs in place, he might be able to end the federal income tax. Trump will go down as one of the greatest presidents of all time. It saddens me that so many people don't understand how tariffs work. Tariffs work both ways. The big problem is we haven't had fair trade since World War II. All our country is just too much in the nation building. We defeated Germany and Japan in World War II. So what do? We ended up rebuilding their country at U.S. cost. And with what's going on in the world, if Trump puts big tariffs on everything coming from China, it's going to change our buying habits. 30 years ago, I remember when you went to a store, you could buy high quality footwear, jeans that would last for years. Everything, most of the stuff now is being imported. Wrangler jeans, they're made in Mexico. Almost all the shoes, unless you spend a few $100 on shoes, everything's made in China. Why don't we import stuff from India? I remember when Kenny's had half decent hiking boots. They weren't the Vitamin Soul ones. They were made in South Korea. People just have to calm down. Put it like this: most of the people in this country put up with 4 years of misery with the Biden-Harris regime. Uh, right now, uh, if everybody gives Trump a chance, look at it like this: Trump was not a dictator. Who did Trump put in jail? People have to give the guy a chance. I would love to meet Donald Trump and his family in person. I know it's never going to happen, but the man is a genius. With Elon Musk getting involved with the government, we're going to cut all this waste. Just like in Pennsylvania, they spend millions of dollars, Governor Shapiro, to do a study about kids being harassed on buses and the internet. You don't need to do a study when children are young. Kids are harassed on the bus. Bullies. And I'd like to thank all the people that showed up tonight to watch the video, by the way. But the whole reason Kamala lost is policy. In our neighborhood, around here. I have a neighbor. They have 2 kids in elementary school. You know, a lot of people in this country, okay, they're sick of their children coming home from school. Mommy, Daddy, my teacher told me I was born the wrong. I may have been born the wrong gender. They're putting ideas in kids' heads. Uh, The whole thing with changing gender goes back to some of these Egyptian gods. Okay, people don't get it, and sacrificing unborn babies, um, all this stuff is satanic, if you ask me. Any questions from anybody in chat? The whole thing with this meltdown, these women, I look at it like this. I told my wife tonight because I saw it on Jesse Waters. If you see a woman in the store that shaved her head, you know who she voted for. But people have to give Trump a chance. During the 4 years of the Trump administration, he couldn't get a whole lot done. He was prosecuted. Now is going to be payback time. I think Trump is going to give all these people that have gone after him, okay, a chance to make amends. It's rumored that he might actually pardon Hunter Biden. If someone has the dignity to make amends with someone, hand them the olive branch, take the olive branch. There's just too much fighting in this country. If Trump has 4 years of control of the House and Senate, I think stuff can get done. Everybody in this country wants to get ahead economically. There's so many people in this country that are just suffering. It saddens me. Um, and then with the drought, I joined the tree business. People are going to come out here this year. Okay, back in 2000, the tree business, 2016, where people came out to the property, told me, I don't feel like buying a tree because look who our president is now. And my wife has said, what does that have to do with Christmas? Who the president is? Um, but I just want to get, my opinion here because I really don't have time to do many live streams because every evening I'm out here trying to pick off deer. And, you know, I'm an independent person. I'm one of these toxic masculine men, even though I'm in my 60s. Um, I, that's why I've always considered myself a lone wolf. But I'd like to thank anyone that's watching my video tonight. Um, But people just have to cool their jets over this. It's not this Thanksgiving. My wife and I are staying home. We don't want to be around people that are going to be crybabies about this. Um, Look at it like this: Trump isn't going to ban birth control. Uh, the people that are for look at it like this: if somebody wants to change their gender and they're over 18, fine. But we can't be pushing this stuff on little kids. If um, if you're an adult and you want to go through this stuff, more power to you. Maybe we'll be happier. But we shouldn't be bringing all this. Little kids in elementary school. They don't understand the difference between boys and girls. They know that boys pee standing up and girls sit down. But putting ideas in kids' heads at that age is the wrong thing to do. I'm sure I'm going to forget something I wanted to say in this video. But look at it like this: the Amish usually keep to themselves. The fact that they turned out in record numbers says a lot. I'd be surprised if any of the Amish voted for Kamala. What's been going on in Pennsylvania is ridiculous. They're trying to stop the Amish from selling raw milk. The Amish know what they're doing. These Amish people, I guess they travel in vehicles. Some of them travel in automobiles. They take baked goods to Philadelphia. Well, our government doesn't want them selling baked goods because this isn't all done by FDA standards. I'll tell you one thing: if you buy something from the Amish, it's probably healthier for you than anything you buy in the grocery store. But all these people that think Trump is Hitler, who did Trump kill when he was in office? Trump isn't going to round people up and put them in internment camps. The only president hey Steph Richard, good to see you. The only president we've ever had that ran the people up and put them in internment camps was FDR. And who was that? He was a Democrat. People don't realize when Woodrow Wilson was president, he brought segregation back full time. The postal workers had to be partitioned off in the post offices with glass. I guess it was glass or plastic walls. And in the military, The black people had to be separated from white people. Uh, that is racist to do that, if you ask me. Everybody has to give Trump a chance. Everybody in this country has to come together because I foresee a lot of problems. I foresee this country being in a war before President-elect Trump even gets inaugurated. Hey, what have you been up to, Steph Richard? Yeah, I don't know if you saw how much you saw the video. I haven't had a whole lot of time to be on chat. I mean, to be in anyone's videos, and for some reason, YouTube won't let me do a video on its own. I have to, log into StreamYard. Bushcraft wanted me to be on his show, but this, I think it's called EvMex, doesn't work. Hey, Harvest Merriman, what's up? Since you guys, yeah, Trump 2024. Actually, I hope that a lot of people just come together with the Trump presidency. When people start saving money, it's going to take time. I said to my wife, I think we're going to see. I think in the next year, we're going to see a lot of the items we buy in stores not be made from China. People just don't understand tariffs. I did a video. People don't look like this. I know people, oh, these corporations are greedy. Okay, when corporate taxes are lowered, US corporations have an advantage. If Trump lowers corporate taxes on stuff made in the USA from being, let's say, what they are now, like was it 21% to 15%, that gives the American companies a 6% cushion to compete with. Well, you know who we have to thank for all the stuff made in China? This whole started with the Clintons, then the Bushes pushed this. I'm not against globalism, but it's like, okay, it isn't racist. It's got to be America first. All the money we spend on stuff that's going to China, this is creating the deficit. All this money is going to other countries. I know family members. Oh, the Chinese people need to work too. That's not our problem. It's got to be America first. Yeah, Harvest Merriman. Okay, because I'm really into the stock market. It isn't that hard to figure out. Right now, it wouldn't be a good time for anybody to buy anything. I think what's going to happen is the Fed's going to just start selling off a large amount of stocks to crash the stock market. Trump's going to have a lot of problems before he's inaugurated. Um, I saw one YouTube channel. I follow her. She's got a lot of good information. Watch Woman 65. We have more B-52s headed to Europe. They're saying that, oh, they're just swapping out the B-52s that are already there and bringing them back. I don't believe it. I think that we could be in a national emergency before the inauguration on January 20th. Yeah, the stock market is all. I tell you, a lot of what goes on, Steph Richard, is it's hype. What the same thing happened in 2016, in the election of 2016. The stock market, my business increased by 30% that year. We had a lot of trees to sell because of the bad years of the Obama economy. People were cutting back on everything. And you know what's going to happen this year? I think I said earlier in the video, people are going to come out here and tell me they don't feel like buying a tree because look who our president elect is. Look at like this. When Obama, I didn't, when Obama ran for president, I voted for McCain. I didn't like either of them. It was the worst of two evils. But this country has a lot of, okay, people talk about opportunity economy with Kamala. Okay, we have the opportunity economy awaiting us in the next 4 years. Hopefully, J.D. Vance will run for president. And I think either Kash Patel or Vivek Ramaswamy would be his good running mate. Look at it like this. There's a lot of Indian Americans in this country. They also voted for Trump. A lot of people from India that came here. The guy, hi Tracy Smith, the guy buying from tobacco from, he speaks with an Indian accent. He was born here. He told me, I've talked politics with the guy. He told me a lot of his family members were all voting for Trump. Hi, Mary Friedland. Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts. And the thing is, because I don't know who's watching, I got a family members watching. Oh, I have family members that are just devastated over this. On my wife's side of the family and on my side of the family. I'm not going to mention any names, but they're just completely devastated. Somebody that lives in a state, they're not going to ban abortion in the country. For all this stuff ought to be left by the state, left up to the states. I've watched some of the YouTube videos that have people on TikTok, these women shaving their heads, just bawling their eyes out. It's like, hey, you know what? Give it up. It is what it is. Some people don't like me saying that, but it is what it is. Look what happened during the past 4 years. We got wars all over the world, and people don't realize some of these people attacking Israel. These are just teenagers, these kids. Some of these Houthi rebels, the people in this country that these some of these liberal young people speaking out, they're basically a rebel without a cause. They don't even know what they're standing for. I support Israel. Um, a lot of it amazes me. I was shocked. I thought Trump would get more Jewish voters. The fact that so many Jewish people voted for Kamala tells me they're not real Jews. There were 18 Iranians in our mountains of North Carolina for 5 months. Trading, they say the sheriff and deputies can't locate them, but locals are saying they hear gunfire in the woods. It concerns me. My accountant who does my taxes, Corvus Merriman, told me there's about 2,500 Afghan refugees in Montgomery County. You know, another thing, okay, because sometimes when I get on a live stream like this, okay, I don't know where to begin. I, I hate to say it, but okay, let's say you gave 5 million illegal aliens semi-automatic rifles and several thousand rounds of ammunition. Say the deep state had 5 million illegal aliens armed. And let's say we're going to pay for each person that died. Let's say 5 million illegal aliens killed 100 people in one night. Okay, they could wipe out the whole population of this country. I mean, they would do it in the cities. If 5 million illegal aliens, I said to my wife, won't surprise me. What if one night you wake up and hear gunshots and there's death squads of these illegals driving down the road, just going up to homes and shooting people? Yeah, I noticed difference. The Amish made a huge difference. Actually, my son lives in Lancaster County. He lives in the city of Lancaster. And like he respects the Amish because he grew up on a Christmas tree farm. But people, some people, I've told family members, they laugh at me, oh, that's never going to happen. Putin could decide to launch nukes because he's just sick of what's going on. But in one night, these illegal aliens, if they were armed, they could decimate every major city in this country. That's what really concerns me. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, I don't want to say the name, but I watched that Room 222 report. I think everybody knows what that is. And I'll tell everybody, I told 101 this. If you want to watch that report, don't try to find it from Google. It'll mess you up. If you go to Bing, you can go right to the website and find it. There's a lot of useful information there. And from what I've been finding out, overall, she claims she conceded. I think she's following lawsuits all over the country that contest the election. Okay, look what's going on in Arizona with Kari Lake. Then another big thing is, okay, there were 15 million more people, more ballots cast in 2020 than now. What's that all about? In the history of this country, the number of people that vote every year goes up. Why did it drop down this year? Did the military get involved with this and we're not being told? I am just waiting for the Department of Justice to try to come out and tell us, a foreign power rigged the election. I'm afraid that's going to be the next thing that happens. Because my wife and I both agree it's not done and over. And one little bit of thing, I know that certain family members will like hearing this. A lot of my son's friends, my son is the tour manager and sound engineer for a heavy metal band. Okay, the name of it is The Devil Wears Prada. I forget where they are today. A lot of people he knows in the entertainment industry, these guys are all voting for Trump because they've seen what's going on in this country the past 3.5 years. Yeah, I'm getting a little thirsty. Well, I voted for Trump. My wife doesn't want to get involved with this stuff because you know what happens around here? If you vote in Montgomery County, they get you for jury duty. They never called my wife for jury duty. And I checked, I did the mail-in balloting. Yeah, we need to watch Merrick Garland. You're completely right about that, Mary Friedland. They're gonna throw something into this any day. It wouldn't surprise me if something happens, like I said before, the inauguration. God forbid we are attacked with, ICBMs or something like that. But I think this shit's gonna hit the fan soon because on because when I'm outside work and I listen to one of my Sony Walkmans on the Rich Zioli show on 12:10 a.m., he broadcasted part of Kamala's speech conceding. She told people, fight, fight, fight. Okay, that could be code word for these certain groups of people to stage the riots. I hope not, but I just foresee all this coming. Well, this is getting a little, okay, I've been on 21 minutes. I was hoping a few more people would show up. Yeah, I look at it like this. Oh, another thing I found out today, because I listen to a lot of talk radio. Okay, some of these migrants are headed towards Canada. Oh, Trudeau was so happy that all these migrants are coming here. Well, guess what? They don't want them here at all now. My son was in Canada about a week ago with the band, and it is such an ordeal for an American rock group to go into Canada. They take everything out of the trailer. They search everything. There's times Jimmy told me it takes 2 hours for them to get into Canada because they search for everything. It's ridiculous. But these migrants, they're just walking right through. It's harder, actually, if you come across the Mexico border, it's harder for an American citizen to cross than it is a migrant. Does that make any sense? Well, the thing is, I think Trump's going to give them all the option to leave. I can't wait until deportation day occurs. Okay, Governor Murphy of New Jersey said he's going to do everything he can to safeguard the illegals. We're going to be in martial law. I think it's going to happen after Trump takes office, if not before. The day these people start getting deported, it's going to be ugly. Well, I'm glad that the Department of Justice has dropped all the cases against Trump. Yep, you're right. I didn't because I didn't hear the whole speech. I can only stomach her so much, Mary. And actually, well, not to change the subject, a few months ago I noticed that on our Verizon TV service we had all these apps where I've been watching TV on Pluto TV and Tubi TV. And every time when there was a commercial break, it was just Kamala commercials nonstop. Can you imagine if we had to hear her for 4 more years on the news each and every day? You figure more people are in the know now than ever. Um, her cackling, it's as bad. It's as I don't know who's worse, her or Hillary. And the fact that Trump has the first president to appoint a woman as chief of staff. Look at like this CNN, MSNBC. I've even watched some of that Midas touch and argue with those liberals when I've had a chance when he's on. Oh, Trump only puts women in his. Trump only hires women that are pretty because he's probably, having sex with them. Well, okay, I don't think any of that's true at all. Why would he cheat on his lovely wife, Melania? Trump is the first person that hired a woman chief of staff. I think we're going to see a lot of women in Trump's cabinet. Having a woman chief of staff has made a big statement. But what else I think is going to happen? I think Trump's Department of Justice is going to start enforcing the FCC laws. If there are any I'm so sick of what goes on, and that Rachel Madcow. Oh, I have under good authority. U.S. Marshals are going to be taking him out of the White House after the Mueller probe. He's going to be indicted. I predict that, you know, what if Kamala goes in the White House and she has to be taken out? That's what I think is going to happen. Even though she said she conceded, she hasn't conceded at all. Yeah, I think she is. You figure, Stiff Richard, Kamala was just a puppet. When she was a city attorney in San Francisco, she had a rating of 2. Plus, I think in Pennsylvania, with all the fracking, she sued the Obama administration when she was attorney general to stop fracking in California. You figure electric rates are just through the roof. I don't know if Trump's going to get energy costs to be half, but I think he's going to do his best. Like right now in Pennsylvania, PICA's rates have gone up about 25% since Joe Biden became president. I think with Trump, okay, another thing that's going to happen. Trump wants to rebuild the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. I've heard, okay, Senator-elect McCormick, they want to take the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard and turn that into revitalize that. Okay, Pennsylvania, even with Joe in office, we can't export all this liquefied natural gas. If they rebuild a naval shipyard into a port where they can, export that liquefied natural gas, we're going to become the energy leading producer in the world. Yeah, I think, look at like this, Mary Freeland. You already know. Biden can, I think he was happy she lost. Biden is the only one that said he could defeat Trump. And okay, Trump's not going to do this. But I think the U.S. Senate, after the Republican Senate, once it's installed, is going to do an investigation over 2020. If Trump surrounds himself with the right people and these Republicans are, in office, I think we're going to get to the truth of everything. And I don't know if it's true, but I read it on several websites. Obama, the night of the election at 10 p.m., it's on, let's see, Hal Turner's news radio website. Obama and Michelle left to Dubai at 10 o'clock. I didn't realize Obama has a house in Dubai. And we do not have an extradition treaty with Dubai. This is kind of going into what's on the board. Actually, I've thought of sending that in an email to certain family members to read it. If that was in their email, they would be and look and open it and went to the website. They would think that they'd be on some kind of watch list. And I'll tell you one thing, okay, because I was talking, the manure guy came here this week. He brought 6 loads of manure that are like 22 cubic yards, and the scale has a truck with the springs in the back because manure is lighter than soil. He brought me 66 tons of manure in 2 days. He thinks we're all on some kind of watch list from all the ammunition we have and the firearms. I was telling Robert, he's a good friend of mine. I've known him for years. When he calls up and says he's got, if you listen to some of the phone calls, it wouldn't surprise me. I said, one day the ATF's going to come here and they're going to think we're drug dealers because the way he says manure, oh, I got some top of the line manure. I said, one of these days you're going to pull in here and there's going to be people pulling in here with assault rifles thinking we're drug dealers. And what are they going to do? They can search the house, the property. You bring them manure here. I mean, him and I joke about this all the time. I don't know where Matt Gaetz is. Yeah, I haven't thought of that stuff, Richard. I can't think of everything. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, where has Matt Gaetz been? I'm going to have to do some research for that later. But as I said earlier, well, thank God she didn't win the election. Because if all of us had to start paying Unrealized capital gains, it wouldn't be set at just $10 million or 100. Look at look. You figure somebody bought a house and it was worth 300,000 20 years ago. And it's worth half a million. They're going to have pay taxes on the unrealized capital gains. Then I've watched a lot of these videos where they were interviewing people about the election, and one of them said the economy is great. Her house went up in price, and the guy's trying to tell her the house went up in price because of inflation. And if a person's house goes up in price, you know what that means? You're going to be paying more in property taxes and school taxes. Like around here, our property tax is due in April, and the school tax is due the end of August. Yeah, I think the rest of the rhinos will show their horns soon. I've always thought Matt Gaetz was a good guy, but you know what, Harvest Merriman, Stiff Richard might be absolutely right. He could he could have been a rhino. I don't know. And did you hear the other thing? Trump, I heard on the radio today. It's going to take a lot of work to do it. Trump wants a constitutional convention called to set term limits on all the members in Congress. That would be a good thing. I think it ought to be 2 terms for senator, because they're 6-year terms. I think it ought to be 8 years for Congress people. Then another thing, I still think there was some. I still think Trump got way more votes. I think that there was some rigging done. I live in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Before Barack Obama became president, Montgomery County was always red. Actually, before Nixon, Montgomery County was the reddest county in Pennsylvania. And unfortunately, Montgomery County went blue this time. You know what? It's 11:15 just about. I think I'm going to sign off. Hey, thanks everyone for showing up. I think one of these nights when 101 has a show, I'm going to go on the panel. One thing I've learned on YouTube is you don't want to like intrude on people's shows too much because I'm not a regular person on the panel. You don't want to be an uninvited guest. That's what I've learned. Like I said, I'm going to keep doing some occasional pop-up videos. I don't care what anybody else on YouTube does because I suffer from toxic masculinity. And I know some people don't appreciate the videos about the deer, but when you have all these deer doing damage, what are you going to do? Okay, thanks everyone for showing up. I ask that everyone say prayers for Donald Trump and the Trump family and JD Vance because the FBI says there's still an Iranian terrorist out there that wants to assassinate Trump. And then you got to remember, Joe Biden said if someone tries to assassinate Trump, that would be an act of war. And it's like some of the things I said earlier about what could happen. I pray that it doesn't happen, but all of us have to pray that there's peace in this country. I'm better looking than Craig. Well, thank you, Tracy Smith. But then again, remember, Craig's a lot younger than me. I'm going to be 64 soon. I'll tell you, everything that's been going on has been nerve-wracking. I didn't think Trump was going to do it in Pennsylvania, but you know what? I really think Trump has God behind him. Okay, thanks everyone. Have a good night. God bless.